Hello and welcome to the Empyrion Galactic Survival Oxygen tutorial. In this video we're going to look at oxygen, what we do with it, how to use it and how to create it. So very quickly, what we do with it is we breathe oxygen. We need oxygen to survive, it's that simple. Without it we die. So what we're going to need to do in the first instance is we need to have a look around this side of our little escape pod. Again, as mentioned in other videos, the escape pod is equipped with all your basic emergency and immediate needs, but it's not sort of designed for long-term use, although technically there's no reason why you can't. But nevertheless, we have oxygen tanks here, only the small ones for the ship, and we have an oxygen generator, or an oxygen station rather, just here. So the first thing we need to do is, as before, we grab some fuel. We're also going to grab oxygen bottles, which are your primary source of oxygen, and let's power up by placing the fuel packs into the fuel tank. We'll only need a couple in there for this tutorial. Enter the cockpit, power it up as you do, and exit. Now, just as you did with the fuel tank and the fuel packs, you're doing the same thing now with the oxygen tank there, and we're popping your bottles into your oxygen tanks. 2 in that one and 2 in that one. Now we have power, we have oxygen in the tanks. All we need to do now is stand next to the oxygen station, and if your oxygen gets too far depleted, you can stand in front of that and that will replenish automatically your oxygen supply. Okay, for the long term, those 4 bottles that we've got in there are not going to last us very long, so we need to think about how to create more bottles. For that, we're going to need the oxygen generator. So we'll grab that, pop it in our inventory. Now we need to think about where we're going to put that. Okay, now water, obviously being H2O, well, perhaps not obvious to everybody, but there you go. Anyway, oxygen is what we're after. Hydrogen to oxygen seems like a good place to put an oxygen generator. At the moment, in this closed alpha, the atmospheres do not contain oxygen, so we need to generate our own. So that being the case, depending on your preference, I've not actually tried to put an oxygen generator outside of water, i.e. here. What I tend to do anyway is pop it underneath the water table. And again, as we did with the fuel tank, instead of using the fuel packs in a fuel tank, we're now using the fuel packs in the oxygen generator to power the oxygen generator. As you can see at the moment, there's no energy source, so we'll grab a couple of those, pop them in there. Now straight away you saw one of them get swallowed up by the oxygen generator. That's because all the equipment that we use in Empyrion uses power, or at least a great deal of it. With the power used, as you can see, we now have an operational time of 1 hour and 13 minutes, and our next bottle that's going to get produced is going to take another 90 odd seconds here. It's on average 2 minutes per bottle, depending on the O2 source quality. The higher the quality, the quicker the bottles will get produced. When you have a bottle created, it'll appear here, and then you can just grab it from here, pop it in your inventory, and from there you pop it back into your oxygen tanks, and in turn you can then replenish your oxygen supply. You need to keep your generator topped up with power, because it will go through the power cells, and obviously with no power it will not generate any additional oxygen bottles for you. Back at the ship, it's a bit of a run again, but that's okay. You got me to ramble on while we're running. Okay, so as you can see, our oxygen blue bar has depleted a little bit. Now we already have the bottles in there that we placed earlier on, so by standing next to the oxygen station, as you can see, our oxygen tops back up again. Absolutely beautiful. And essentially it's rinse and repeat. You need oxygen. You need oxygen to keep yourself going. You need oxygen, just period. I cannot understate that enough, or overstate it, whichever way it goes. Another consideration while we're on the subject of oxygen: you have oxygen in your oxygen tanks here. While you are inside the cockpit, you automatically cease to use your own internal oxygen supply, and instead you will use oxygen from the oxygen tanks. This is very useful if you've got a limited inventory space for whatever reason and you're doing an extended amount of flying around, or perhaps in a ground vehicle. Definitely worth noting is that one. Perhaps flying out to maybe an asteroid field, and then you hop out the cockpit, then you begin to use your own oxygen supply. Fantastic for extended mining periods, sort of around asteroids and what have you up in space. And there we have our oxygen tutorial. Feel free to message me if I've omitted any details. Other than that, enjoy your game, and I'll see you in the next video.